Hi everybody, Holly Hobby coming to you today. I'm going to be cooking. For those of you who have just found this channel, please take a moment to subscribe, thumbs up, and comment below. I'd love to hear from you. We are going to be making a friend of mine's recipe. It's Cubano sandwiches, and super easy. So full disclaimer, this is not my recipe. I found it through a cooking club from Abby Cooks Wild. You can find it on Facebook. And super easy, the family loves it, and I hope you enjoy it too. The ingredients that are included in this are, I selected some pre-cooked pork carnitas, and I'm going to be warming that up here on the skillet. We've also got some Hawaiian King rolls. These are sub rolls. I really like this brand. I like the flavor. I don't get any sponsorship from them or anything. It's just the brand that I enjoy. I thought I would share. We're going to have some melted butter with a little bit of garlic seasoning in it, some banana peppers. I really enjoy bread and butter pickles, so we're going to have some bread and butter pickles. You do not have to have pickles at all. Swiss cheese is going to be very important, as well as deli sliced ham. And you'll want at least one slice for each sandwich, and we're going to be making 6. Okay, so let's have fun, enjoy the kitchen, and our time together. Okay, so the first thing to do is get a skillet out, put your pork carnitas inside. Mine are pre-cooked. I'm just going to actually warm them up and then shred them a little bit before we put them on the sandwiches. I'm covering it, putting it at temperature 5 for the next 10 minutes or so. That gives us enough time to be able to prep the other things. So I've got a few tablespoons of melted butter, adding a couple of sprinkles garlic powder. I like garlic butter. You don't have to add garlic to your butter. It can just go in as necessary. And we're just going to set that aside. Now we're going to prep all our gear. So here we've got this 3 slices of Swiss cheese, which is good for 6 sandwiches. We're just going to cut those in half. You can take a wedge of Swiss and get those sliced nice and thin or as thick as you would like. For the bread and butter pickles, I'm just going to cut these right in half. That's going to go, I'm going to have one go on, I'm going to make it even here. 1 half for each sandwich. Oh, that's so good. Because I just ate something, I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands again. Now there's nothing special we have to do with the actual ham itself. We're just going to place it right on the unit. So to prepare the rolls, we're going to actually want you to set your oven to 340 degrees. What we're going to be doing in the oven is just basically warming, toasting it up as little as we can. We don't have to do it fancy. The nice thing about these is they already come pre-cut. If you find bread that you like that isn't pre-cut, you want to make sure you cut it nicely down the middle, and you'll see there's a total of 6 slices here. I'm just going to place these right here. And I like to cover my pans with foil. It helps for the cleaning process later. Now we're just going to get these buttered up. We're going to go ahead and place this. We're going to do it turned over so that it toasts the bottom on the foil. I'm going to do the top rack in the oven. And we're going to set this for 6 minutes and then take a little peek. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I do like to have it covered so it keeps the moisture in as much as possible, but I'm going to use my tongs to just turn things about. Now there's a lot of different tools that you can use to shred meat. You obviously want to pull the fat out, because no one likes to bite into a big piece of gristle, right? So we'll do that as we're going. The easiest tool for me is to just use forks, although you can use shredding tools. What you'll see is that it pulls apart real nice, and the warmer it gets in here, the easier it's going to be. So we're just going to keep working this. If you do find pieces of fat, like I said, go ahead and just remove those. All right, that looks really good now. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the heat on that, and we're gonna check our rolls. Now, with all things, you wanna make sure you've got the proper tools. These are a version of oven mitts, if you will. You can use the big ones or not. These will work just fine for what we're doing. I'm just gonna pull this out, and we're gonna take a little look. Okay, I'm actually gonna turn these over. This is a little softer on the bottom than I would want, and it is toasting nice up top. Move some things about. Try to flip this over. Hopefully it stays intact. There we go. I wish this was smell-o-vision. I can really smell that yummy garlic and that butter. Oh no! Things happen. Just gonna recover. Nothing's perfect. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and set this in there for another 3 minutes. All right, so I believe that our rolls are ready. Beautiful. Nice little brown on the edges. So I'm actually gonna take the bottom and get those set right back on the same tray that the bread came on. This is a really great way to assemble. Also a really great way to store any sandwiches that don't get eaten right away, because it's just perfectly. Then you're reusing things and not wasting. So we're gonna prepare each of the sides. This is the first side. We're gonna go ahead and add the Miracle Whip. Nice thin layer. All right, now we're just gonna start layering. So the very first layer is the cheese. Then we're gonna do a layer of the ham, one for each sandwich. Okay, next up are pickles. And as I mentioned, I do like banana peppers, so I'm gonna add those to my 2 sandwiches. Some of these actually came from my garden. I use a fork. The reason why I use a fork to get it out of the container is if you start reaching your hand in there, now you've got all your hand guck all over all your stuff. So use a fork. It's gonna be the easiest way to get things out. Similar process. So we're gonna use the Miracle Whip first. Okay, now we're gonna put these together. And I'm gonna lay this like this so I can remember that these ones had pickles, these ones had the mustard, so I don't mess that up. That would not be good. We have some unhappy people. So you wanna try to make it as even as possible. Obviously, we've already gone through the process of getting rid of some fat, but should you find any additional fat, just remove it. You can also add an additional piece of Swiss cheese to the other side if you'd like. Totally up to you. That's a little bit too much Swiss for our palates here, but it's absolutely fine as long as you cut it thin enough. And remember, the pickled ones are back here. And there's my mustard. So I'm going to try to position this right on top exactly the same way. Feels beautiful. Now we're going to go ahead and cut them and plate it. And you will notice that there will be some extra meat that falls out. It's okay. We call that yummy goodness. There's always room for yummy goodness. You don't want to waste anything, right? Should go all the way through. If you're wanting to wait on this and keep it warm, serving it later on, all you have to do is just add it right back to the bag it came in, and the warmth will stay inside. This is especially valuable if you're like camping and you've already got this, you just prepared it in your camper kitchen or your cabin kitchen, and you want to take these out on a picnic, that's exactly what we did. We just packed everything together. They stayed nice and warm. So I'm going to go ahead and separate. Oh, wow, look at that. So beautiful. Just use this a bit so I can cut it open and you can see how beautiful it is. I like to cut it at an angle with a sharp knife. Awesome. Cubano sandwiches. Lighting's not fabulous, but I tell you, it's going to be great. I hope you enjoyed cooking this recipe with me today. Comment below, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to be doing all sorts of things: gardening, cooking, massive fails, probably some crafts. Cheers, friends. Let's have fun and be awesome in the kitchen.